Hi everyone in New Music Ensemble, hope you're doing well. This is just a short video to talk about the Cage 3-2 piece that's an option for people who want to keep making music and collaborating for the rest of the semester. I just want to walk through a PDF copy of the score and explain some things. Now the name of the piece, 3-2, comes from a naming convention that Cage used for all these pieces towards the end of his life, what are called the time bracket pieces. Um, 3 is the number of performers that are required for the piece, and then 2 indicates that this is the second piece for 3 people that he's written using this time bracket format. And you can see that it's written for 3 percussionists, but really when we begin to talk more about what percussion sounds mean, really anybody in the group is able to do it. And yeah, Cage passed away in 1992. This was written in 1991, so this is one of the last pieces he wrote before he passed away. This direction on the second page right here, 10 time brackets, all but one with flexible beginnings and endings for 3 numbered but not specified instruments. So if you want to do this piece, you're going to need to identify 3 sounds or 3 instruments that you're going to use for the performance. And we'll talk more about that specifically. But again, they don't have to be conventional musical instruments. They're simply percussion related sounds. You'll also notice it says dynamics are free for short sounds, but on the soft side for long ones. So if the sound you're making is going to be something that can sustain for 15 or 20 or 30 seconds or even a minute, you're going to want that to be relatively soft. And that's so that when the 3 percussion parts get combined, there isn't one percussion sound that's just loud and long and covering up everything else that's happening. So you're going to need to select 3 percussion sounds, and you're also going to need access to a stopwatch so that you can keep track of time. You can see here the piece starts at 0 minutes and 0 seconds and ends at 9 minutes. So it's 9 minutes long. And right now we're looking at the percussion 1 part. I'm going to zoom in on one of these time brackets. Here we go. Okay. So in this first time bracket, whatever instrument or sound you've designated as sound number 3 is the one that you're going to play. And you're going to play it such that you start at some time between 0 and 45 seconds on the stopwatch, and you end sometime between 30 seconds and a minute 15 on the stopwatch. Once you get used to reading this time bracket notation, it gets intuitive pretty quickly. But this means that the sound could last for as long as an entire minute and 15 seconds if you start it right at 0 when you start the stopwatch, and then end it right at 1 minute and 15 seconds when you end. It can be that long. It could also be significantly shorter. Once the clock reaches 30 seconds, it could be a very short instantaneous sound, because anything that you start in between 30 and 45 seconds can end right away, because it's legal for it to end anytime between 30 seconds and a minute 15. And then the next sound that you play can start anywhere between 1 minute and 1 minute 45 seconds and end anywhere between a minute 30 and 2 minutes 15 seconds, but that is instrument or sound number 2. And you go on through the entire piece, realizing, recording each of these sounds as the time brackets indicate. Everybody has one time bracket that does not have flexible starting or ending points. So that's this one right here. Sound number 3 has to be made for 30 seconds, starting at 4 minutes 15 seconds and ending at 4 minutes 45 seconds for player number 1. And so if there are 3 of you who are interested in doing this piece, it would certainly be pretty easy to realize. You would end up finding some way to record your individual track wherever you are, and then you could send the finished audio to me, and then I'll assemble it in a digital audio workstation, and then distribute the finished mix down to everybody else. But all you'd really have to do is figure out which of your, what your three instruments are, and then we'll collaborate and figure out who's going to be percussion one, who's going to be percussion two, and who's going to be percussion three. If this is something you're interested in, feel free to reach out. And if, like I said, if there are three of you who are interested in doing it, we'll do it. If there are two of you, maybe I'll be the third player, et cetera, et cetera. As far as percussion sounds go, again, you may not have access to conventional percussion instruments per se, but you do have access to sounds. For example, I and a number of colleagues are going to be doing a realization of another one of these cage pieces called 4/4. It's also for percussion. It's 74 minutes long. One of the sounds I'm going to be using is this terracotta interesting hand drum that I have at my house. And one of the interesting sustained sounds you can make on it is to just take a chopstick and just scrape it against the surface of the instrument. It's a nice sound that you can sustain for as long as you need to, and it's relatively quiet, so it meets the requirements of the piece. So once you start thinking about sounds and instruments in that way, I imagine that you're all somewhere where you have access to sound resources like that. Again, let me know if this is something you're interested in doing, and if we've got a group together, we will make this happen. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.